Okay, all right, so let's find the real solutions of x times the absolute value of x equals 4. Now, looking at this, it's pretty intuitive. Some of you probably already know what the answer is, but let's walk through the process of how you'd actually deal with this by hand. Now, because the absolute value by definition is split into cases, we need to do that here. So first we consider the possibility that x is less than 0. Now when this is true, we know that the absolute value of x equals negative x. Again, this is by definition. So substituting that into our original equation, we'd have x times negative x equals 4. Negative x squared equals 4, or x squared equals negative 4. Now, you realize here we would take the square root of both sides and we would end up with complex solutions, rather imaginary solutions. Real numbers are still technically complex. But yeah, we'd end up with imaginary plus or minus 2i, and we don't want those. So we're going to ignore this case. Now we take the second case, which is that x is greater than or equal to 0. When this is the case, the absolute value of x equals x. So we can substitute that into the original equation. We have x times x equals 4, or x squared equals 4, or x equals plus or minus 2. Now, we end up with two solutions, but if we remember our assumption for this column, we assume that x was greater than or equal to 0. So we're actually going to ignore the negative possibility and only keep the positive. And in fact, 2 times the absolute value of 2 is 4. It would not work for negative 2.